with this with us.
The whole story?
The whole story.
All right,
All
we
right.
got it.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. All right, where do we begin? So I've been in the health food, health industry for 28 years. So that's a long, long time. After the first, I got thrown into it actually. My whole family's been into it for 40 plus, 45 years or so. So when I first started, I didn't know anything. My first reward was when the first person came in after a while and they told me, you made that much difference in my life. My son feels better, I feel better, you've helped me that way. I was 17 years old back then, I wasn't even 18. And just people coming back, everyday people like you guys who come back, would they tell me that feedback where they give me a reward for something that actually aided in their personal improvement in their health. I felt, there's no words. I can't give you a word that will give you a feeling like this. It's partially it's an obligation that I felt, if I can do this, I have to continue doing this every day. I decided to commit to it. I started working 7 days a week and doing night classes in college to be able to actually study and continue my education at the same time. But I committed because I felt that this is the biggest reward anybody can have. That means to touch everybody's life so personally. You can actually improve their health just by your knowledge or studying something that can help people make a difference. So shortly, a few years into me being in the industry, I got into the sports industry. I'm going to try to be a little bit more specific, so I don't go for talking for 20 years because I can. So when I got into the sports and nutrition industry, a lot of my friends were into the bodybuilding industry, and a lot of the other half of my friends were MMA, Gracie family, MMA, martial arts, and they're fighters. And so I started getting into the nutrition side for sports, and I started discovering that there's a lot of use for hormones and injectable hormones, basically. It's a gray market that's kind of hidden, And as I got closer to these people and I started working with them a little bit and exercising with them a little bit, training with them a little bit, I started feeling pressure from them to actually put me in a direction on using some of these hormones, because that's what makes them feel so good, and that's what makes them feel so strong, and they're able to compete with their friends and peers and all of that. So from this point, as I'm working in the health industry as well, I did enough research. Thank God I was scared of needles. That's the only reason that kept me off from trying this stuff. But I'm for doing research into all of this, and I'm finding out all of these side effects. And as my friends come to me day in, day out, I saw the complaints that are coming from them are exactly what all my research have found, which all of the side effects of using too much of injectables for too long period of time. So, of course, for somebody that's their life and that's their job, that's what they use to compete, that's their income, it's kind of hard to get off of something like this, because this is a source of income as well. It's not just a sport, it's their breadwinning job, That's how they provide for their family. So this is when I started working on finding alternatives for this crazy gray market, which is the overuse of injectables, okay? I started working with developing the hormones that we have today, okay? Microdosing, botanicals that support it, and glandules that support your glands to function better and be more efficient. And this is when the product actually was first born. It's about, over 14 years ago, when the first version of the HGH cream was actually developed. And initially, most of the people that were using it were athletes. They were actually my friends. And it was hard to get them on it because they feel invincible when they're using what they're using, right? And they don't need anything else. They don't need a little cream when they're using the real thing. And I understand completely, but when they come off cycle, and they have to every 3 weeks or every 3 months, they have to take a break, they don't feel really good. Their system almost shuts down, depression, joint aches, sleeping all day long. They don't want to do anything, and they can't compete, they can't perform, they can't fight, they can't be with their loved ones, their libido's gone completely. So those are some of the serious side effects, and those things don't go away. That's why they need to take a little break, but then they have to jump back on on their cycles, of course. So after I was able to convince one of my bodybuilding friends, one of my pro bodybuilders, just to try the cream on his off cycle when he wasn't feeling very good, he's like, you know what, I'll give it a try. So he takes it and comes back literally less than 2 weeks after. That was with the best results. He comes to me and he's like, I feel better. He's like, my energy's back. I can go to the gym again. I feel like I'm doing the real thing. This is exactly his words from years ago. And he actually finished the whole cream in less than 2 weeks, the whole jar. Supposed to last 2 months or a month. He finished it in literally 2 weeks. And he came back and he wanted 6 more. And he got 6 more. And he actually took it to some of my other friends and his friends and shared it with them. All of a sudden, all these people are coming in and they're like, of course they're using it in their off cycle at the time. And they're like, oh my God, what's in this? I can't believe it. There's something, this can't be legal. This is not right. From that point, this is where I started growing, honestly, completely on its own, just like it is here today. People sharing it with people. A lot of my Gracie family, friends started using it. Of course, easier than a bodybuilder. They felt even more results because they're not, they don't need as much of this compound, and they appreciate it more because they're very, very active 24/7, and they use a lot of energy. They use a lot. Their muscles are destroyed, and they need to recover faster. They felt this product even quicker, and the news spread. It just took over, and the product started becoming, again, in my little town, it wasn't anything like this, of course. It became a big hit. I couldn't even make enough of the product. A few years into it, my manufacturer got a letter from the FDA. Let's pull the product. You can't make this stuff. You're crazy. HGH, this is illegal. It says this is a substance that's banned. It's a controlled substance. You can't make this stuff. So, of course, my manufacturers, like, I'm out. I'm not going to risk any of my other products. I can't make it. And at the time, I've been into the industry for close to a decade. Then I had 400 other products that I make. So I'm like, okay, whatever, dump it. I have another 398 products to worry about. So no big deal. But I had a lot of pressure from the people that were on the product back then. A lot of pressure. Like worse than anything I've experienced, even today in this company. And if you can imagine those guys, and they're probably the size of me times 3, because they're all big bodybuilders and all the MMA fighters and all these crazy athletes coming at me. Where's my stuff? Literally. So for me, it's not a big deal. I'm like, okay, you know what? The stuff, the FDA pulled it, we can't make it, but I'll make you a replacement. So I actually put together another cream that was only secretagogues, and I changed it a little bit. And I'm like, okay, well, this will increase HGH a little bit. It didn't have all the glandules. It had some compounds to make up for HGH. And I had it in about 3 months, and I started giving it to the same people. Nobody liked it. Not one person liked it, and they started throwing it back at me. I'm like, no, I want the real stuff. I want the real stuff. I can get you the real stuff. This is it. I can't get it for you. And I promise you, it's so much pressure that I'm being in the industry for so long. I have a lot of connections and partnerships and relationships with a lot of manufacturing and companies that actually make a lot of different products. And one of them was about 20 miles from where we are in Fairfield. So I went and sat with the owner, and he got me together with his chemist, and we sat together. And I told him, look, I want to make this stuff. And he's like, look, we have a $100 million business. We're not going to risk putting this product together for you because, we see the letter from the FDA to your last lab, and we see why they don't want to make it. And I'm like, I need to find a way to make this stuff legal and to bring it back to the industry because it changed some lives. It really did, and some people are depending on it, and I don't want them to get back on the path they were on before because they really like the product. So I started giving them formulas one by one, and they would submit it to the FDA, and it would be rejected, of course, 1, 2, 3, 4 times, countless times. I think over 24 times, until all of a sudden they agreed on a dose that we have in the product today. That dose is 5 times stronger than what it used to be back then. So somehow it happened, And I got the product back. Of course, we had to oblige to their specs on the product. So it has to be in a pump, not in a jar. The jar itself was illegal. They didn't want people putting their fingers on it because of mold and bacteria contamination over and over, so they wanted a pre-measured dose. Every word we have on the bottle right there, it took a whole year to approve the label alone. Because when you get an NDC product with a controlled substance that all of a sudden the FDA gives you a registration for, you have to completely go by the regulations. And I became very protective of this product because once I gave it back to the people that were using it, they actually loved it more than the one that we had before. It was a little bit stronger, and people were buying it literally in the dozens. When we first started making it, I was only making a small quantity. We were allowed to make, I think, 450 bottles per batch, and a batch takes 10 to 12 weeks to make. So the 450 were disappearing before we were actually bringing them in. So people were waiting for them, and the news spread again that the product is available. And everyone was getting this product left and right. And just like it's here today, honestly, zero marketing was put into this product, zero. Everybody would share it. Everybody would share it with their friends at the time. And I remember the first gentleman that came to the store and asked, he described to me how he was feeling. He was in his mid-50s at the time. He was asking me for a product that would make him feel better, and he's somewhat athletic. And as the first person, literally over 30 years old, that actually tried the product. So this gentleman comes and picks it up and leaves. I remember he had the little Alfa Romeo convertible red car. I remember it till now. And he comes back a couple of weeks later, swearing about how amazing he felt, that he's never felt like this ever. He had just gotten over a divorce, and he was going through depression and lost a lot of weight, couldn't work out, mood was upside down for like 4 or 5 months. So he was swearing to me, product changed my life. And he started sending the middle-aged group to try the products, sharing it with his friends, like you guys do right now. And all of a sudden, his ex-wife was there buying it. He's there buying it. And the numbers started growing from 450 bottles every cycle, or 10 to 12 weeks, to 2,000, to 5,000, to about, I think, 10,000, 12,000, something like this, where we kind of, 10 to 20,000 bottles where we capped. And that was a lot of business out of just my locations that I do out of North California. Well, that's plenty, I don't need more. Until all of a sudden, I met this gentleman, Joe Giuliano, master distributor in this company, right? And Joe got me on a little call. He's like, hey, I need you to talk about this product a little bit for 10 minutes or so to a few hundred people that I'm going to put on the line. So sure, of course. So I get on the line, and I don't know what's on the other side. You know, there's no questions. I don't hear anything except Joe introducing me. And another friend was on at the time introducing Joe. So he asked me a few questions about the product and told me to talk about it, what it does and how it works. And literally 10, 15 minutes, and I hung up. And all of a sudden the orders started coming in, okay? So everybody's buying it. We've got 200, 300 people actually that were on the call. I think 50%, 60% of them started buying the product month after month. 3 months or 4 months later, Joe calls me again. He's like, hey, Alex, I want you to get on the phone again. I need you to hear what these people are saying about the product. I'm like, is it good? Is it bad? He's like, no, just jump on real quick. You need to hear it. So I get on the call, and I start listening to what everybody was saying about this product, and the feeling was unbelievable. I mean, it hit me like 1,000-mile-an-hour wind. I'll never ever forget that feeling. The feedback was phenomenal. The same things that I was feeling from you guys one by one, from my customers back then, how it grew from the young guys into the middle age, into the older crowd where appreciates it the most. Everybody started sharing exactly what I've been going through. And I'm not gonna call them customers or clients, family members like you guys. As you guys are sharing their stories, they were sharing theirs. And I was in tears. I couldn't even breathe. I don't want to talk too much because I start crying again. But So after this moment, I felt a similar feeling to when I started this industry, and I was born into this industry, a feeling of obligation and commitment. And I felt that I have to pass this to everybody. And this is the perfect message, the perfect tool, the perfect vessel. This product is based on education. This is the kind of product that you don't need to sell it. Don't sell this product, share it. Share it with people you care about. I mean, I shared it with my mother after I found out from my customers actually what it does, okay? Then my mother-in-law takes it now. And then my brother wants to find out about it because they're overseas and they're asking me, hey, can you send us this stuff? Because we're hearing all about it. But half my friends are on it. 80% of my family is on it. And you guys know, you just share this product. And just like Tylenol doesn't work for every single person, but it works for a certain amount of people. Same thing with this product. I mean, if it works for 8 out of 10 people that you tell about, then you're gonna change something in their lives. And it's gonna be to the better. This is exactly how this product got here today, by it being shared. And the story that I was telling you a few minutes earlier when I walked in, I didn't remember the whole thing, but it's a message of selflessness. This lady that shared the product, that when she got the phone call about her boyfriend getting in an accident and she left, her customer gave their bottle to this trucker lady that took it back home. She gave it to her because they didn't have any more. And when the lady went back to her work in a couple of days and she met that customer again, she told them, do you still have my bottle? Because I don't have my bottle. I need my bottle. I still have half of the bottle and I need it. They told her, no, here's your bottle. I give them my bottle. Don't worry about it because my auto ship will be here in 3 days, so it's no big deal. Before her income actually doubled in like 2 months after that, and her monthly, that is. So this $200 to $300 a week that she said, she told me she started making it, and how happy she was, and she can't wait to meet me. I'm like, wow, it's not only changing her life health-wise, this is actually helping people financially. I can't thank you guys enough for sharing this product, for sharing these stories with me. I'm fully 1,000% committed to this company. To my family, okay? You're not my clients, you're not my customers, you're my family. I will represent you, and hopefully you guys will represent me well as well. So I will do my best to pass on my 28 years of being in the industry. Education is everything. So it's good for us all to learn how this product works, what it does, why does it work. So you're gonna see in the next few weeks, I mean, as we turn the page and as we become a giant company, I'm discovering that we're breaking records every single day. Thank you guys, this is crazy. Just because what you're sharing, what you're doing every day is amazing. I mean, I can't be thankful enough. And the lives that you're changing, whether health-wise or financially, it's just an amazing story either way, or a combination of both. You can't beat that. I'm committed to make this the best experience for you guys and the best ride. And this is just the beginning. I'm gonna share everything with you guys as we go. I mean, I'm glad Bruce is not here to stop me from saying certain things.
We love Bruce, but we're glad he's not.
But the pains will be gone. We're just growing so quickly right now, and the hurdles that we had 6 months ago were real. The hurdles that we have today are easy. Those are hiccups, programming, fixing certain issues, making sure the company withstands the size, the capacity that is growing, the direction it's heading in, making sure we protect the product, making sure we have compliance, protect the product for you guys. This is your business. Forget the money, this is your health if you care about this. Forget both if you want to learn more about what's coming. Any of this stuff, right? We got to protect this. So we're enforcing all of these things and putting all these orders to make sure the company survives that giant, record-breaking, enormous growth caused by your support. And again, this is it. I love you guys. I'm so glad I made it to Seattle. Thank you, Seattle.